I want to bring the biggest star of them all into the discussion, and that's LeBron James. You're a Laker fan, Chris Canty. Yep. As we speak, with all of these other machinations, all these other chess pieces being moved around, is LeBron seeing his last best chance of winning one more championship slip away? Because if the Nets do decide that their best course of action, even if reluctantly, is to bring Kyrie Irving back, is that basically the end of the Lakers' best chance going forward?
Oh, yeah, G, it's over. I mean, if the Lakers can't reconfigure their big three, and by that I mean find a way to move off of Russell Westbrook and add a better player, someone like Kyrie Irving, then there's no chance that LeBron is going to be able to get it done and compete for a championship in the West. As much as I like Anthony Davis and agree with him being one of the best bigs when he's healthy, he's not available enough. You're talking about a guy that's missed half the games the Lakers have played over the last 2 years. And Greeny, he's knocking on age 30. Show me when the last time we've seen a big man get healthier as they get older when they've had an injury history like Anthony Davis. It doesn't happen. So, yeah, I think this is LeBron James' last best chance of competing for a championship slipping away. As much as I like what Darvin Ham is saying, their new head coach, I just don't think the Lakers will have the firepower to get it done.
It's an interesting point here, Wendy. So where do the Lakers, you ran through a 4-team scenario and all these other stars, what role do the Lakers play in how all of this plays out?
Yeah, so I think there's a couple of change agents that could happen. Two jump out to mind that could change the current scenario. One is if Kevin Durant comes forward and says something. Whether he says, look, I asked for a trade from the Nets, and I still want to trade from the Nets. I don't care what you think about running it back. That would tip the apple cart for sure. The second is if LeBron makes a Kyrie Irving acquisition an issue in his potential contract extension talks, which can begin next month. Now, I'm not sure that he's going to do that. I think LeBron didn't like the blowback that he got for being part of the blame for the Lakers doing the Russell Westbrook trade. I think he wants the Lakers to improve. I think he'd love to have them get Kyrie Irving, but I'm not so sure that he wants to walk in, pound his fist on the table and say, I'm not signing this unless you get Kyrie Irving. But because that is still out there, and because that is an unsettled issue, which is a significant issue for the Lakers, what LeBron's future there is going to be, I have to leave it out there on the table as something to watch for.
That's very interesting to me. Friedell, what do you think?
Greeny, who cares if LeBron signs this thing or not? I'm sitting here watching this Kevin Durant thing unfold. If we've learned anything in the last few years in the league, if a star wants to get dealt, he's gone. And he will usually find a way. So I know that is a huge, huge issue for the Lakers organization. But recent history tells us LeBron can sign any piece of paper there is, and then in a year say, I don't want to play with Russell Westbrook anymore. Anthony Davis can't stay healthy. This team is a mess. They're not very good. I want out of here.
That's fair. But I will say this, just sort of taking everything at its face value in the moment in which we exist. I described the other day, and I do not mean this to sound as disrespectful to Russell Westbrook as it probably comes off. Westbrook is a Hall of Fame player, and he still has a lot left to do in the NBA. But he is such a bad fit. He is such a square peg in a round hole or whatever it is with that group that I said if they're able to turn Russell Westbrook into Kyrie Irving, it's a miracle. It's a basketball miracle that could save and provide their only chance. So to me, Chris Canty, they have to do whatever they can to make that happen. Whatever it is they can do to make that happen, that's what they need to do.
No doubt about it. And Rob Pelinka has to put that 2027 first-round draft pick that the Lakers have on the table if it means being able to flip Russell Westbrook for Kyrie Irving. We've seen that he's been hesitant to do that at the trade deadline. LeBron James expressed some frustration because they didn't do so. But I think this is something that you have to take a look at. But again, Brooklyn is holding all the cards. Both of those guys, Kai and KD, have expressed they don't want to be there. But I don't know how much leverage either one of them has in terms of forcing their way out of town, which makes this a fascinating situation.
Quick final word, Wendy, go.
New York Post today, we have a Kyrie Irving source saying he's ready to go back in Brooklyn. I find that report probably credible, and that's Kyrie's trying to take a posture on the position as well. Again, now we wait for Durant.
Friedell, renew the condo. You're coming back to Brooklyn I'm telling you right now, you're coming back to Brooklyn for another season. That's what's going to happen. Be ready. Be ready. Be ready to fight that traffic on Atlantic every single night as you head to Barclays, because that's what your life is going to be for another season. Just be prepared. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.